They took advantage once, never again. You knew it the moment it happened. That quiet shift in the air when respect left the room. They smiled in your face, hands open, voices warm. But beneath it, hunger, greed, weakness masquerading as charm. You gave them time. You gave them trust. You gave them a piece of your armor, thinking they'd carry it like a shield. They used it like a dagger, and you stood there bleeding in silence. Not because you were weak, but because you were learning. See, betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes it sounds like laughter. Sometimes it looks like love. You think strength comes from noise, from barking orders, swinging wild, throwing fits? Strength is what happens after the fall, after the silence, after you watch the people you fed from your own hands turn around and spit in your face. You want vengeance, earn power. They took advantage of your kindness, your patience, your willingness to see the good. And now they don't remember. They forget how they crossed the line because they never saw the line. You drew it in sand. They erased it with ease. But that was the lesson, and that was the last time. They took advantage once, never again. You don't announce when you rise, you disappear. You cut ties without words, without warnings. You close the gates without slamming them, because the loudest revenge is the quietest exit. Pain teaches faster than comfort ever could. Disrespect sharpens the blade better than any master. And that blade now, it's not for show. It's not for flexing. It's forged in silence, polished in loneliness, carried with purpose. You don't move for applause anymore. You move like a ghost, like a shadow in the storm. No one sees you coming. No one hears your name. But when you arrive, the air changes. You've learned this truth. People will test the limits you don't enforce. You thought loyalty was enough? You thought your heart was armor, but you forgot wolves don't pity sheep. You gave them your time. Now you take back your focus. You gave them your voice. Now you speak only in actions. You gave them your loyalty. Now you give it to your mission. This is the transformation. You don't chase closure. You don't seek apologies. You don't fight to be understood. You let silence speak. You let absence punish. You let evolution handle revenge. They never saw you as dangerous. They saw you as useful, as accessible, as safe. But now you are still. Now you are unreadable. Now you are no one's option and everyone's threat. They will remember you differently, not as the one they fooled, but as the one who disappeared and never looked back. That version of you, the soft one, the forgiving one. He died the moment they crossed the line. And the man who rose, he keeps receipts. He holds the line. He smiles less. He listens more. Because silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. It's the art of not wasting fire on the unworthy. Let them wonder where you went. Let them talk to the ghost of the version they used. Let them replay every word they said to manipulate you. Because now the mirror is clean. And what they see is who they are, not who you were. You outgrew the room they poisoned. You burned the script they wrote for you. You stopped waiting for them to change and changed yourself instead. Revenge isn't noise. Revenge is not needing them. Revenge is becoming untouchable. No access, no reaction, no explanation. You don't prove yourself. You become yourself fully, quietly. Absolutely, that's power. They thought you were weak because you let them close. They thought your heart was a weakness. They mistook your empathy for emptiness. But that was before you knew what your silence was worth. That was before you understood what kind of monster kindness becomes when it's betrayed. Now your soul is steel. Now your peace is earned. Now your standards are the gate they can't pass. You aren't bitter. You're focused. You aren't cruel. You're precise. You aren't cruel. You're precise. You aren't broken. You're refined. Let them see the difference. Let them feel the distance. And when they speak your name, let it taste like regret. There's no returning to who you were. That door is gone. That bridge is ash. They had their chance when your hands were open. Now your fists are closed. Not in anger, in discipline. This is how you win. Not by stooping to their level. Not by matching their energy, but by disappearing from the equation entirely. They used you once. Now you're unreachable. Now you're unreachable. Now you're untouchable. Evolution is the cleanest revenge. No words, no war, just growth. Evolution is the cleanest revenge. No words. You don't show up to prove anything. You let your absence haunt them. You don't flex. You finish. And when it's all quiet again, when the smoke clears and the noise fades, only one truth remains. They took advantage once, never again. They took advantage once, never again. But don't get soft. Don't get sentimental. Not now. This world doesn't reward the open hand. It exploits it. And you know that now. They fed on your doubt, on your hope, on your need to belong, that part of you that wanted to believe in people. It's dead weight now. Let it rot. This version of you doesn't beg to be seen. You vanish and let your success speak in thunder. No more explaining, no more defending, no more proving your worth to people too blind to see it. If they couldn't respect you at your most generous, they'll never survive you at your most dangerous. They'll never survive you at your most dangerous. Because now you build alone. Now you sharpen in silence. Now you let your discipline speak where your words once did. They try to keep you tame, predictable, safe. You were never meant to be safe. You were born for the storm and they woke it. The fire inside you, it's not rage, it's not hate, it's clarity. A cold, unshakable clarity. You see the world for what it is. You see people for who they are. And you see yourself finally for what you were always meant to become. Not a victim, not a savior. A force, a law. A presence that doesn't flinch. A standard that doesn't bend. You carry your pain like armor now. You use their betrayal like fuel. You don't chase, you command. This is the law now. You never apologize for outgrowing parasites. You never explain why you left the table. You built your own fortress instead. Let them gossip. Let them twist the story. Let them throw stones. You became the mountain. Unshakable, silent, final. They'll come back eventually. They always do. Not out of love, out of curiosity. They'll want to know how you did it, how you stayed cold, how you moved on. But by then, you won't speak their language anymore. You'll be fluent in progress, in peace, in purpose. Your life will be your answer. Your absence will be your message. You gave them their one chance. They chose comfort over loyalty, ease over effort, control over connection. Now they watch from the sidelines. You didn't become bitter, you became better. You didn't shrink to make them feel safe. You expanded until they couldn't breathe the same air. That's the difference now. You don't burn bridges. You let people drown in the distance. You let people drown in the distance. You don't punish them. You outgrow them. And that silence, that space between who you were and who you are, that's the grave you buried your weakness in. You'll never be taken for granted again because you don't offer yourself so easily anymore. You don't show your hand. You don't hand over the blueprint to people who haven't earned it. You watch. You measure, you choose. Access to you now is rare, and when it's gone forever. There's no reset, no re-entry. You built the gate, you hold the key. They took advantage once, never again. They took advantage once, never again. They took advantage once, never again. They'll see it soon, not through words, through results. The new version of you doesn't explain himself, doesn't prove anything, doesn't look back. The new version doesn't react. He observes, he calculates, he builds, then he crushes. Let them doubt. Doubt is a gift. Doubt blinds your enemies to your arrival. They won't see it coming because you don't need to be seen anymore. Let them think you lost. Let them laugh. Let them flex their delusions. You've already won. Because the one who stays quiet owns the narrative. While they talk about you, you work on you. While they guess your next move, you make it. Success doesn't need to shout. It just shows up in the bank, in the mirror, in the silence that follows your footsteps. You don't rise to prove them wrong. You rise because gravity doesn't own you anymore. You don't get revenge with words. You get revenge with distance, with peace, with power they can't reach. They'll look for the old you, the loud one, the reactive one, the one who needed them to see. But that version's buried, left behind like dead weight, burned away in the fire they started. You're steel now, sharpened in the dark, untouchable, unbothered, unbreakable. Let karma speak. It speaks in echoes, in empty rooms where your name used to be mocked, in silent mouths when your success walks in. The loudest thing in any room is presence, not noise, not words, just presence. Stand still and let it hit them, let it haunt them, let it humble them. You are not angry, you are not bitter, you are not loud, you are focused, you are not loud, you are focused. You are final, you are done explaining. Let karma show them what silence builds, because here's the law. The man who holds his tongue holds his throne. No one can argue with results. No one can gossip louder than a legacy. No one can block what's already written. They'll claim they knew you. They'll say they always believe, but silence remembers and karma doesn't miss. So build in silence. Starve the ego. Feed the grind. Let your scars breathe. Don't waste energy correcting fools. Don't water dead plants. Don't announce your vengeance. Become it. Be the calm in the storm. Be the wolf in the woods. Be the fire they can't predict. Let the universe balance the scales. Let time expose the truth. Let karma do what karma does best. 'Cause when it hits, it doesn't need subtitles. They'll hear it. They'll feel it. They'll remember. Not because you told them, because you didn't. Be quiet. Let karma speak loudly. 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 They tried to bury you in noise, doubt, lies, laughter, and you almost believed it. You almost broke, almost explained, almost proved. But something deeper pulled you back. Not rage, not pride, disgust. Disgusted with the part of you that still wanted their approval. Disgusted with the part of you that thought justice had to be announced. Disgusted with the weakness of needing to be understood. That's when it changed. That's when the noise stopped meaning anything. That's when silence became sacred, because silence is not empty. It's loaded with patience, with precision, with power. You don't shout when you're about to strike. You don't explain when you've already won. They betrayed you and expected you to self-destruct. They mocked you and expected you to chase their acceptance. They walked away and expected you to crawl.